here to figure out how to get in a position to fire your boss, to build a business on your terms, and to make 10K plus or more per month. We're going to learn that from Whitney Bonds, who is a YouTuber, and you can see her silver 100K subscriber reward on the background. She has over 140,000 subscribers. She's known for empowering her audience to build sustainable online businesses from home. She's created 2 six-figure online businesses, and we're going to just find out the secrets, how it's done, what to do, what not to do. So, Whitney, glad to see you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. Like it's one thing to create the content and click the buttons and do the online business thing, but you have to build those relationships, right? You have to have
Yeah.
people on and experience the witty banter and the give and take. And so we introduced you a little bit, but in your own words, what are you up to? What has you so excited? What are we figuring out today?
Yeah, so my name is Whitney Bonds. I'm a mom, a wife. My husband's a pastor, so that's a whole thing too. And I have a business, so I got a lot of things going on. I got 3 kids. One goal that I have for this year is to hit 1 million subscribers this year. I know it's like a audacious big goal, but my 9-year-old son said I couldn't. And I have 2 competitors of mine that talk about the same kind of stuff. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's just my new goal for this 2025 is to hit 1 million subscribers because people don't think I can do it. So that's my motivation.
So it's time to prove them wrong, and it's there's no point in giving yourself a kind of like wimpy, just sort of okay goal, like swing for the fences and really try and do more than you think you had to do, so that way you can get to that 1 million subscribers. And I love what you said there about how I think we all experience that at some point. We look at the various clones of ourselves. We'd like to think we're unique, but there's other people like us who teach similar stuff, and we find their YouTube, we find their Instagram, and we say like they're more known than us, but they're not as good as us. And so
Yeah.
when people come to you and they say, hey, you've got this huge YouTube following, Instagram following, uh, why not me? Is there any logical starting point? Like, what are people missing as far as what their goals are, or what they're maybe not doing enough of to build their following?
Yeah. You know what? I truly believe it's because they don't want it bad enough. I believe people do what they want. And the only reason I have any success today is because I wanted this more than I wanted to sit and binge watch a Netflix show or something or hang out with friends. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and raise my kids more than anything. So I put all of my focus on what is going to get me there. And I eliminated all distractions. And that's when I always talk to people, oh, how do I do this too? But they want to do other things that are taking their time away from what they're true. If this is what they really wanted to do, then they will put all their focus on that. So I really believe it's just honestly at the end of the day, what do you really want? Do you want um to have the freedom to do what you want, or do you want what you want right now? I think a lot of people want what they want right now and not looking up down the long road to what they really want. So it really kind of boils down to what that is.
100%. They're pursuing the instant gratification, which they may not
Yeah.
admit to. And what we should be looking more for is that delayed gratification. They say choose your hard, right? Well,
Yeah.
building an online presence, making money, getting clients, building the YouTube subscribers, that's all hard. But you know what
Yep.
else is hard is being broke. What else is hard is making excuses, struggling for money. So it's like, well, if you look at the big picture and where you want to be in a year or two from now, then which path will you go on? And even like you mentioned there about watching TV, I mean, it's TV is good for eliminating the excuses. Because if someone says, I don't have the time, well, hey, cut out TV for a
Yeah.
week or 1 hour a day. And there you go, you find the time. And then so when someone comes to you and they say, all right, Whitney, I like what you've accomplished. Like, how can you help me? What is the transformation or the service you provide?
Yeah, so for me, like I'm all about I like to simplify things. Let's just instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, let's do what works. So what if you don't want to be a YouTuber like me, find someone who is doing what you want to do and then study them. That's literally what I did for both of my businesses and that's how it's become a success. Anything that I've tried to do out of my own thoughts and just said, let me try this out with no model, no guide, I failed miserably. So this is a testament to true to my own life that it is easier to follow someone that has done what you want to do and learn from them so you can get fast track your success. So my biggest thing is just like find someone what you want that is doing what you want to do, learn from them and study them. What social media platforms are they on? Which one is doing the best? What type of content gets the most engagement? I always say success leaves clues, so follow it. Just find out what works, make it your own, and just execute.
I love it. That's motivational, where it's like, well, don't worry, you'll have plenty of room to express yourself and be unique and be creative. But look at who's blazed the trail. Look at how you can role model, and why do they have a following, and what are they doing? And so you mentioned about these two businesses. Like, which one is the most exciting for you? Which one do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I would love to talk about the YouTube because I started my business in blogging. I had saw these bloggers making $100,000 a month, and I'm like, I only need to make $2,000 a month. So if I could just earn a fraction of what they're doing, I'm gonna do well. And that's what happened. So the first year it was rough. I only made $5,000 the entire year, but then the very next year I made over $200,000, and for my family and I, that was like life changing. So that the blog was doing really well until the sources of traffic I was getting from my blog was Pinterest and Google. I had to learn SEO. SEO is completely Greek to me. I'm like, what in the world? But I had to learn it because that's what the bloggers were doing. That's what they were doing. So I said, okay, if it's working for them, I have to figure this out. Even though it was the most frustrating thing I had to do, now I'm an expert at it. You got to put in the reps. So the more I kept trying to do it every single day, learn more and more, it started making sense. Long story short, Google change your algorithm, Pinterest change your algorithm, but YouTube is the one thing that has remained consistent. And that's why I want to talk about YouTube, because YouTube is the thing that's working right now in 2025 on how you can get the most money. And it's a great place even for beginners. You can, if you have a plan, this is something you can start today and start making money from, because I don't see YouTube going anywhere anytime soon.
Right, me neither. If anything, it feels like, at least my own personal usage, like it's grown more. For so many years, I did the free plan, but then as soon as I found out that I could like play something on my phone, and then with like their whatever YouTube Premium, and just play it in the
Yeah.
background, I was like, I made playlists. I use it on my TV. I use it on my phone. Anytime I need to just look someone up, such as yourself, and like see what they're all about. If I need to
Yeah.
learn something in general, like I probably use YouTube, and now that I think about it, more than any other social platform, just because of
Yeah.
all of these like five or six benefits right there. So there's tons of people on there. And then, but then there's also a lot of people that are maybe like frustrated or coming up with all the various excuses, right? Like, well, what camera do I need? I can't possibly
Yeah.
like do all this SEO research. How do I make the content? And so what do you think you do very well on YouTube? Like, what was your plan like as far as like creating the content, getting the subscribers, growing the channel? How is it done?
Yeah, so the same thing I was talking about earlier. One thing that I do is I find out what people are searching for. So I look at my competitors. I like say, okay, what kind of content are they doing? And then I ask myself, can I create a video like that? Can I do it better? And I'm very intentional with SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's very simple. People try and overcomplicate it. It's literally, what are people searching for on YouTube? And you can find out, there's many ways you can find out what people are searching for, but you can literally find out what people are searching for and create a video that's going to answer their question. So, for example, I found out that people were searching for stay at home mom jobs. So, I did a video titled Stay at Home Mom Jobs. And guess what's popping up in the search results to this day? Like over 2 years ago, I think that video I did, it's the first video you're going to see when you search for stay at home mom jobs. So, I figured out how to find out what people are searching for, and I just create a video that's answering their question. YouTube is a search engine. So if you think about how other people might search for things on YouTube, just think of you want to first start with like, what am I talking about? And then what will these people have questions about? And then you create content that's going to answer their questions in your video. And then you can start getting traffic that way. And that's why you don't even need to have a big following, because it's not about, people aren't watching that video because of my following. They're watching that video because they're trying to find out what are some stay at home mom jobs. So they click on the first video they see, which is mine. And that's how I'm consistently making money, because I'm stuck in the search results. My videos have been there. I have a video that's been there for 3 years. I'm making money off a video I've done one time. So that's why I'm saying that this is the number one platform. You can't say this about any other platform out there. YouTube is the only one that you can create a piece of content and it can sit there and make you money for years and years to come.
Of course. You think about Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, you make a post and it's forgotten about sometimes within minutes. But then
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to what you're saying. Like, I have videos from like 15 years ago on my YouTube channel that just like some
Oh,
of them.
wow.
I mean, I'm not at your level, but I have some like a quick like 3 minute video got to like 50,000, 60,000 views just by being there, and people search for it, people find it, and just
Yeah.
from cumulatively over time. And so it's a great strategy you have there, right? You say, well, what's my topic? What am I talking about? You do the searches, you see what the competitors are making videos about, and then you put yourself in the mind of that YouTube watcher, and you say, well,
Yeah.
what are their questions? And I mean, and I think that it's people don't talk enough about this idea of questions and answers with content creation, right? They focus on titles, keywords, but what you just said there, well, if you look at the question, it's like someone has a specific need. They're looking for, like, they're not just browsing around, they're looking for like this exact solution. And then when you
Yeah.
think about like what's the question and what's my answer, then you're not just copying because you're giving like a better answer what's out there. And once you've given the answer, it's 100% clear, like, was the question answered or not? And so, and it's amazing looking at your channel, you have these like just 10-minute videos, right? And they have 300,000, 800,000 views, 400,000. And so I'm curious, like, how much like thought or work goes into that kind of thing? There's the keyword, there's the title, there's the thumbnail, there's the editing. And so
Yeah.
like, is it like a 5 hours, 12 hours? Like, what's the amount of work to make a 10
Oh my
minute
gosh,
video?
this is a great question because it's not that at all. So, all
Okay.
right, this is how I start. I'll start by doing my research, and I don't even want to put time to this because everything is different now, especially now that I've been doing this for a long time. I kind of know what I'm looking for when I see a title like the other day. I was just I like to look at the homepage on YouTube, and I'd like to see like what videos are doing well. You can look at the thumbnail, look at the views and the title, and say, why did that video do well? You just want to be curious. Curiosity will take you a long way. Why did that do well? Oh, people might like that. They use the word stop in their titles. That must be something that people may like gravitate towards. Stop doing what? Let me see. What is that about? So anyway, I'm just like always just curious, always looking. And then I saw a video title and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be perfect. This was about something about like they lied to us, and it was about the housing market. But I'm not in the housing market, but I like the title. So I said, how could I take that title and put it to something that I actually know about? And then I said, oh, you know what? They lied to us about Pinterest affiliate marketing. Pinterest affiliate marketing, that topic for some reason does really well on YouTube. So I'm going to put a spin on that. I haven't done this yet, but I'm working on this now. So I saw that title the other day and I said, that's going to be my title, like the truth about Pinterest affiliate marketing or something. I have to work that out. But now that I know what my topic is, I want to go through my own experience and just put in what I know. I'm looking through some other people's videos to see like, okay, what did they say about this? So I can have some references. And then I'm going to look through the comment section. I'm doing my research. So when I'm doing my research, this honestly is just taking me a couple hours, maybe an hour, two at the max. So that's my research day. Then I do my script another day because I just don't want to do it that day. I'll work on my script. I'll finish my script in a day. And then I'll record the next day on my teleprompter. To this day, I have a teleprompter. I write everything in my Google Doc. And because I don't want to be just like, this is YouTube. I always say I'm like the least likeliest person to have a successful YouTube channel because I'm going off track all the time. Like, I have insecurities. But then I thought about, what do I want more? Do I want more to have the freedom I want, or do I care about this instant right now in my situation about just like how I feel about other people, what they think about me? Anyway, I don't care. I've thought about what I wanted more, so I got over myself, and so that's what I do. I literally just I'll come down here to my office where I am now. I'll do my YouTube video right here. I'm looking at my teleprompter, and the video will take me less than 30 minutes to record it, and then I'll do my little silly thumbnail like or I do a little couple of
Yeah.
pictures like that. And then I send to my editor and I'm done. That's it. That's all and then he takes care of the thumbnail and the editing, and I move on with my life. And then when he's done with it, I'll publish it and then I'm on to the next one. So that's just like, it's so part-time, it's ridiculous. And it's made me like quadruple what I was making at my 9 to 5. So that's why I'm just like, this is a thing that I don't think a lot of people are taking advantage of, because if I can do it, anybody can.
Well, yeah, and it seems like the way you describe it, like you've become efficient at it, right? Like you kind of you
Yeah,
have this intuitiveness about it. Like you say, you open up YouTube, you kind of see what catches your attention, what's a good idea. You look at these other videos, you're like, okay, what do they talk about? And I love the part about integrating the comments because for me, that's built into like you're kind of at an advantage to the content that's already out there, right? Because they put out theirs and then you get the feedback and you're like, hey, I can even be better than theirs because if there's comments and people are like, I guess a comment is either maybe they're saying what they liked about it and you're like, ooh, more of that, or there's like
exactly.
questions and you're like, hey, maybe they left that out, or I could do this in a different way. Maybe their video is 3 years old and I can do like the how Pinterest is working now instead of 3 years ago. And the whole thing about the teleprompter, I'm glad that you mentioned that because like I don't know about you or people that but I feel like I overthought the teleprompter thing for a bunch of years. I was like, wait, where do the cables go? What comes in there? And then I found out that the teleprompter, it's just like a see-through mirror kind of thing, right? It's like
Yeah,
a one-way mirror, and you just put your phone, put your tablet on there, and use an app, and like it like flips so you see through it, and it's like, oh, you don't even need fancy equipment. You just put your camera behind it and the glass and your phone, and it just kind of sits there and you can bust it out, knock it out. And also you say that you hand it off to the editor so that way you don't have to be the one and switch back and forth. And I imagine that maybe makes you consistent and helps with the routine. And so you have this process for if you're making one video, but like what is your frequency? Do you say like I need to make a video daily, weekly? How
yeah,
often
no,
should it
that's
be
a great
done?
question.
Yeah.
I just really so sometimes I'll do like 2 videos a month. And to me, because it's just like I get a little lax, things are going good, my views are going up. I'm just like, I can do whatever I want. It's my channel. If life is happening, I may just do 2 a month. But what I would like to do, I want to be more efficient because I like doing this. You put more out there, you're gonna get more back. Some videos might hit, some might not. It's all honestly just testing and trying out. But what I'm doing now is this is what I did when I first got started. 1 video a week. I'm going back to that. 1 video a week. Sometimes maybe 2 if I do like an interview with someone. So it's not as much editing on the editing side. But what I'm doing right now is 1 video a week.
Okay, and that's definitely doable, right? Especially you have
Yeah.
your process, you set aside time for it, it can be done. And then the question becomes, all right, well then how does that lead to making money? And like many YouTubers, I imagine you link your products, you do the monetization, but how does all these views and all these videos translate into an income?
Yeah, so what I like with my strategy even more is because I am very intentional, like what are people searching for? If you can answer their question with a product or a service, that's where an affiliate marketing comes. And that's how you can make money without being monetized. Because when I say monetize, that means you need 1,000 subscribers, you need 4,000 hours of watch time, which is something that is a little uphill climb for most people getting started. But that's why I say, yes, try to get monetized. Let that be a goal, but don't let that stop you from making money right now. You create content that's answering people's questions. They don't care about how many subscribers you have. All they care about is getting their question answered. And if you can do that, they're going to watch your video. If you can show them why this is going to work for them, they're going to click on your link because they're not trying to go to Google and find it from themselves. If it's something that you already have for them right below, they're going to click on your link. And that's how you can make money. And that's how I make to this day, the most of my money is through affiliate marketing on YouTube.
Oh yeah, like you definitely can't trust the Google results as much as you used to, right? It's like, well, if
No,
I'm
we are
looking
in a different
into,
place.
yeah, like if I'm like, well, I'm not sure if I want to get like this toy for my son or this, piece of equipment for myself. Well, if I click YouTube, I might get an Amazon result, might get some ad, but if I get a YouTube result, I'm like, well, I know I'll see like a video of someone like doing a comparison or doing an unboxing or doing a
Yeah,
demonstration. So I'll be more informed, and I feel like I'll get to my answer faster by looking on YouTube than by Google. And I imagine that you kind of get like a more like serious searcher on YouTube versus someone on Google who's like, all right, well, I'll open up 12 tabs and see what there is. On YouTube, they're just looking at what your video is. And so you've done a
yeah.
lot of things right as far as the research and the SEO, especially. But is there anything about success on YouTube that maybe people don't talk about very much, that is like something like you think is really important, but it's just not a widely known secret?
Yeah, I love talking this. This is a great question. So I posted a video, this was a year ago. I posted video and crickets, like no one watched it. And there's nothing worse than like putting some effort into a video and no one cares about it. And it was a video I did about like how to set up your LLC, and no one cared, no one watched it, and I had so many, like, in my mind thinking, like, "Let me just delete this video, it's a little embarrassing," right? But then you're like, "Nope, Imma trust," and this is one thing I say all the time, "Imma trust the process and not the progress." You can't trust the progress with YouTube because, like I said, YouTube is a long game, so you just never know. So, I'm saying this to say, like, nothing happened with this video. And then 5 months, like I'm moving on with my life. I forgot about this video. After about 5 months, it just starts getting traction and then like more and more. And now that video and just ad revenue alone has made me over $29,000. And it has like I have an affiliate opportunity in that too. And that's made me like even quadruple that. So I'm saying that to say because this is how YouTube works sometimes, not all the time, but don't care. You have to like overcome the thoughts of other people and yourself. And just like if something doesn't look good that it's doing well, do not delete it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't delete it. If you did your due diligence and your research, just trust the process and move on with your life because I think that was a great example that happened for me and my own like lesson learned to say like, okay, don't delete anything. You never know what's going to happen later on. So I wanted to share that with your audience too, because you just never know what's going to happen. So, just say I did what I could for this video. Let me move on. If no one watched it, at least I tried to do, but you just never know with YouTube.
Yeah, and you never know who is going to help. Like sometimes you put out videos that maybe they don't go as viral as the others, but I mean
Yeah.
you're still delivering good information. If one person comes in and have this problem solved, then you're still being helpful. And
Yeah.
you're reminding me like there's been times when I've searched YouTube for things like how to tie a tie, how to install WordPress, really simple 2-3 minute stuff that get like 3 million views from other people, 5 million views, and then you look at some of these popular guys like your Tim Ferriss, your Gary Vaynerchuk, and you look at like
Hmm.
their oldest video. I'm talking like 2009 stuff, and they're like young and awkward and nervous, and they keep that up, and you see how far they've come.
Yeah.
So why do all this work for nothing? Why be a coward and delete it? Be someone that is proud of what you do and
Yeah.
have courage. Make the content, leave it up there, and there's nowhere to go but up. You continuously improve. The way to get worse is to stop doing it or to not take this seriously. And so, for those people that say, man, I love what Whitney has going on. I want to fire my boss. I want to build this side hustle. I like what she's doing with Amazon, affiliate programs, YouTube, etc. How can someone get more from you? If we're having this conversation about the possibilities are great, but we need a guide.
Yeah.
We need to take action. Where should they go to take this next step with you?
Yeah, that's actually what a lot of people have been asking me to do. Like they're like, Whitney, like this is gold. Like I need to learn this. So what I want to do is I want to do a boot camp because courses are good and they have their place. But I think doing this all with you guys, like with the team and like having a community do it all at the same time, I think that's the best route to go if you want to be serious about starting a YouTube channel. Even if you have one and you want to get your content more stuck in the search results and all those kind of things. So I'm putting together a boot camp. I want to keep it small, only 50 people. So I will give you the waitlist link for that if anybody's interested in joining that to kind of learn how to make money. I like to say make money while you sleep and getting stuck in the search results and just being able to understand how to find out what are people searching for on YouTube. That's the little, I guess, hack that I've figured out and it's worked for me like a charm. So I want to share that because I am not the only one that can be doing stuff like this or that should be doing stuff like this. So yeah, I'll give you the link to that for my wait list for that.
Well, great. And we can definitely all relate to the boot camp idea, right? Like when we were a kid and we go off for like a 1 week spring break thing or a summer camp, and it's like you pack a whole year into a week or two of just like getting
Yeah.
some amazing results, meeting some people. And there's some kind of value in if you're just kind of dabbling, right? And maybe someone's already like, they're already watching the little YouTube videos, listening to little podcasts. It's all little tiny bits. and it
Yeah.
doesn't really upend your life very much. But then joining like an online boot camp like this and kind of like just changing up your focus, your schedule for a few days, and doing some things that are maybe outside your comfort zone, making the YouTube videos, figuring out the keyword research, doing the teleprompter, then they can kind of change their trajectory, which is maybe what they've needed all along, right? They need something real
Right.
and powerful to get them on their way. And so will we have the boot camp link in the show notes? Is it just too long to say out loud?
No, I can't give the link for that. It'll be triedandtruemomjobs.com/bootcamp. That's the link I'll
Okay.
give you for that. And then I have another freebie that I want to give you too. It's triedandtruemomjobs.com wealth blueprint. And this is just a concept that like changed my way of thinking when it came to like understanding why people who make a lot of money make a lot of money. And then the reason why people who don't make a lot of money can only make a little bit of money. So I just thinking that once you realize, what opened my eyes, I know will open your eyes. It will make you think differently and walk differently and do things differently. So I want to share that with your audience as well.
I love it. So changing your mindset, changing the way that you see things. And we've mentioned some of the pitfalls, right? The negative self-talk, etc. And so
Yeah.
there's triedandtruemomjobs.com/bootcamp. There's triedandtruemomjobs.com/wealth blueprint. There's at Whitney Bonds on YouTube, and there's at Whitney Bonds 101 on Instagram. And so
Mm-hmm.
if Whitney got you excited about the possibilities, if you've used YouTube and you've been frustrated, if you've just been afraid to even get started with it, well, maybe it's because you've been trying to go it by yourself. Imagine if you tried to learn how to ride a bike, drive a car, and you just had no help from anyone else, didn't even do any research. You were like, oh, here's a car. What's the steering wheel? What's this gas pedal? Of course you couldn't figure it out on your own. But you watched a YouTube video about how to drive a car. You read a little bit of a book. You had someone show you. And then now it goes from being something that's impossible to very doable. So that's Whitney Bonds on YouTube, triedandtruemomjobs.com/bootcamp. And before we let you go here, Whitney, it's time to try to stump you a little bit, put you on the
Okay.
spot, and ask for a fun quote or lesson that has served you in life or in business that you think can be helpful to pass on to us. So what comes to mind for you for a fun quote or lesson?
Okay, so a fun quote I like, or one that I recently heard that I was like, I like that. It was you don't learn how to play the piano by reading a book. You just have to do it. So I like that a lot because it's like you got to do it. That's the only way to learn. And what was the other question you had?
That was it. Just a fun
Oh,
quote or lesson that has helped you.
yeah, I think that's so. Yeah, that is my life's motto. Like I always learn by just doing, by just not having it all figured out, just getting out there and doing it. So that's one thing that I wanted to share.
They call that immersing yourself and embracing
Yes.
that you will be very bad when you start, but the only way forward is to practice badly and take some action and just kind of do it live and actually do the
Yeah.
steps and do what you need to do. Sure, you could learn and hem and haw and wonder, but I mean, you apply that to any kind of skill, right? Imagine
Yeah.
brain surgery, just reading about it. Well, you probably should do some brain surgery if you want to get good at it. And same
I
with
hope so.
YouTube, same. I wouldn't want someone being like, well, I've read about it, haven't done it. Maybe you should do it. And maybe
That's
you
actually a
should
good one.
do,
I want to take that one. That was a good one.
yeah, maybe make a YouTube. Maybe we'll both make our own YouTube videos about it, and it'll be
Right.
unique because it's our own perspective. And then we can
Right.
look at the other person's video plus the comments and make an even better version. Who knows, right?
I
And
love it.
so we need to take action on this and pursue e-commerce, affiliate programs, but especially YouTube and your own thought leadership, your own content creation, because it's a way for you to stand out, grow your side hustle, grow your business, change your money situation, alter your family tree, and everything that's great that goes with it. So check out Whitney Bonds on YouTube. That's at Whitney Bonds. Instagram at Whitney Bonds 101. And thanks, Whitney, for showing up, giving us a fun time, entertaining us, educating us. It's really a fun experience. So thank you for doing it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, super.